For a while now, I wanted a smart meter connected up to my system to stop any excess electricity being generated by my solar panels going back to the grid. Getting hold of a smart meter, especially from EcoFlow, which ideally is the one that would fit in with the system I have, is like rocking horse poo at the moment. You just can't get them. There's massive waits for them, and if you want to pay extortionate money off eBay, then go ahead, there are plenty on there, I'm sure. But anyway, today I've had delivered the Shelly 3EM. Now, this is not one of the approved ones from EcoFlow that Shelly do, and I'm going to give it a go, and I'm also going to set it up without connecting it to my consumer unit, because that would require an electrician and extra expense. So stick around and I'll show you whether this works and how I've set it up. So let's first of all open up this Shelly and see what we have inside. Some instructions, some CT clamps, and the actual unit itself. Now, this is rated for 120 amps. I'm not going to install this into the consumer unit. I'm going to install this just next door to where the mains power comes into the house. So I purchased one of these little DIN rail boxes, purely just so little fingers can't touch electrical things on here. I've also, by the way, purchased a plug and some wire. That may tell you what I'm going to do with this little project, and a 3 amp fuse for the plug. So the first thing to do is download the app from Shelly. Okay, so it's all downloaded, and what I need to do now is wire this Shelly 3EM up and plug it in, and so that I can get it connected to the Wi-Fi, and then cross-connected to my EcoFlow app, and see whether they pair, and most importantly, see whether they talk to each other, because that's the whole reason why I bought this thing. And I'll give you the price at the end, what I've paid for this. And in actual fact, I'll give you the total price, what I've paid for everything to get this up and running. Because currently the EcoFlow smart meter is £99. And I think the EcoFlow Shelly Pro 3EM, I think it's called, is £149, but they're currently out of stock everywhere. Although you can get the Shelly Pro 3EM from, there's a DIY storehouse in the UK called B&Q, and they don't stock it in store, but they do it online, and you can get it for about £126. So there you go. And what I've been told is that it does pretty much the same as the so-called optimised one that EcoFlow have gone into partnership with Shelly about. But who knows? I don't know. But I'm going to try this because it's obviously a lot cheaper, and if it works, it's something to go for. Now, I think this one has been superseded by the Pro, because this one came out about 21 or 2022, I'm not too sure. So it's an oldish one, but it's still compatible and it still works, I'm led to believe. So let's give it a go. Let's get it wired up and give it a go. Okay, so after reading the instructions somewhat, it would appear that on this device, looking from the front where the LEDs are, you have a neutral at the top here and a VA just below that, and then there's a VB and a VC and an IO. Right, the blue wire on this flexi bit of cord, this lamp cord I have, is capable of taking probably up to about 5 amps, I'm not too sure, but thereabout. It's going to be fused at 3. The blue will connect to the neutral at the top, and the brown will be connected to the VA. And then I'm just going to take one of these CT clamps. I've just taken the A1. It doesn't appear that they have any separate purpose. They look all the same. And then I'm going to take this CT clamp and plug it in the top where it's IA and I think that is minus IA plus. So it's the A clamp going to the IA minus IA plus. And the wires which are going to feed this, the mains, this is going to supply the mains power to this unit rather than the consumer box, is blue to the N for neutral and the brown to the VA. Now if I've read the instructions correctly, nothing's going to go bang when I plug it in, but we'll find out in a moment. Okay, so I've managed to wire the Shelly up, and I've connected it to a CT clamp A. Now the CT clamp literally just plugs in. It's very simple. The hardest thing is lining things up, because I struggle to start with, but when it's lined up, it does just push in. So that's all connected. Now on the CT clamp, I said earlier it does have a K and an L. The K is the grid, the L is the home. So the arrow is going from the K to the L. So that is the direction you have to put it on your cable. So now I'm just going to pause the video here for a moment, because when I installed the CT clamp and looked at the Shelly app, it was showing that I was exporting electricity and not consuming it. Now I'd followed the instructions correctly and I was putting the arrow on the CT clamp the right way. However, it wasn't working. So I took the CT clamp off and turned it around so the arrow was pointing in the wrong direction according to the instructions, but now everything seemed to be working fine. After looking on the internet, I found another set of user instructions from someone else, and it seems that their instructions differed from mine. So I'm just wondering whether there is some sort of printing error here going on, or some communication problem. But either way, once I turned the CT clamp round, it worked fine. So let's get back to the video. So that's all wired up. I'm going to plug it in now and connect it to the app on my phone, and after which I'll disconnect it, reconnect it, putting it inside this this DIN box, and have got some of these glands, these I think they're 20mm wide glands, which obviously I'm going to punch a hole in the top of this particular box. There is one in the bottom as well if you want to have it coming out the bottom. I want it coming out the top, and I'm going to fit that through there, and it just offers a little bit better protection for the wires that are coming out. So let's do that. Let's plug it in and see whether it works. Funny at the moment. So I'm going to go into my phone now, and I'll share this with you as I do it. Let me try and go to the Shelly app. Okay, so let's open the Shelly app. I'm not too sure what I'm supposed to do here, so I'm going to press the plus sign, add a device. I don't think it's got Bluetooth. I think this is just Wi-Fi, but let's just try something first. Okay, let's just try something. I don't want the Shelly Assist. Okay, so let's just try Wi-Fi so that we can add. Now if you go down here, I'm going to look for my Shelly 3EM or EM3. I think it's still the same one, so I'm going to click on that and I'm going to press next, and obviously I've got to put my password in. And then add device, and just let's see whether this works. Firmware provision, devices above, what's this? Can't include your Shelly device. Devices with firmware and above have a 15-minute provisional window being powered on. If the device doesn't have 15-minute provision being powered on, if the device becomes unreachable, try power cycling on and off to restart. Okay. just try one more time. Seems to have wanted to connect to that time, I hope. Connecting to device. Okay, add it to Wi-Fi. Adding to Wi-Fi, should I say. So it seems to work. And I have a mat stuck to my coffee cup. So, device name, I will just call it smart meter. That'll be good enough for me. Congratulations, smart meter done. Pending connection. Okay, I'm not wholly certain what that means. That took a little bit of work to get there. Oh, and it seems now to be on. Okay, Kurt, so as you can see, I put the Shelly device inside the DIN box, inside the outside box, if all that makes sense. And I'm now just going to put that lid over the top here, like this. It's hard to do it one-handed. And I'm just going to screw that on there, just so it protects all of the wires and keeps them safe. So I'll do that now, and then we'll connect the CT clamp up. So I put the CT clamp around the live wire, which, if you follow this, it comes in through the fuse, the main 100 amp fuse, goes into the meter, comes out of the meter. There's a live and a negative. Out of the meter comes a negative and a live, and it's this live that goes down and up through another breaker and then into the house. So I'm not too sure that you can see on there, but the arrow is pointing in the direction of the house, the main supply. So K, as we read earlier, is the grid, and L is the home. So that should be set up right. It's just whether it connects now to the EcoFlow app. And just a little bit of tidying up, and that will be fine. And that's it, without touching the main fuse or circuit board. So let's go and plug that in so that it works first. So all plugged in, and as you can see, the green light is on. I'm not too sure whether it's resetting itself yet, whether that should be a constant light, but we'll see in a moment. And what I'm going to do now is go and try and connect it to the EcoFlow app, and we'll do that indoors. So let's just shut this up and see how we get on. Connecting it to the EcoFlow app couldn't have been easier. I just followed the instructions and everything seemed to go according to plan. You search for the third-party apps and Shelly, just find the relevant one, which was the 3M, add the password in, and now this was the only place I got a little bit stuck, because I should have pressed the yes, but I left it on the no and tried to press save, and as you'll see in a moment, it didn't like it. There you go. So I pressed the yes, and the yes again, and the yes to the others, and then save, and it seemed to accept it, and everything connected. The only thing I wish I'd have done at this particular point was to assign to space. I should have connected it to my home space, but it doesn't matter. You can do that at a later time, which I have done since, but I wish I'd done it just straight off the bat. But there you go. It's very simple to do, very, very simple to do, and it works absolutely great. I would highly recommend purchasing this particular Shelly. It's an old model, but it works just as well, and it's far cheaper. And as you can see there, the house is at the top, the allocated space. But yeah, I would certainly recommend this one, as the newer ones are really hard to get hold of at the moment, and they're vastly more expensive. And this was a doddle to set up, in all honesty. So if you're looking for a smart meter, I would certainly recommend this one. And I'll give you the cost in a moment of everything. And here you can see I'm just toggling on the smart meter now. So what this actually does is it stops any of that excess electricity going back out to the grid. It just monitors what I'm using in the house and throttles back the electricity accordingly from the solar panels. So this Shelly 3EM seems to be working absolutely fine. If I just show you my in-house meter, that's what I'm getting. It does fluctuate around, I will admit. It does go into the minus occasionally, but it doesn't stay there for very long. It soon goes back to zero. Okay, so in conclusion, do I think the Shelly 3EM is worth it? Absolutely. Considering that the price of the others, the official EcoFlow smart meter and the Shelly Pro, I think that's the 3EM, approved by EcoFlow, have gone through the roof, and they're extremely hard to get hold of anyway these days. This is definitely the way to go. Now, I've had it up and running for about a day now, and the latency in terms of the data that's coming to and from the meter going to the EcoFlow power stream is very, very minimal. So for the money, absolutely worth it. And it's a much cheaper option in my opinion. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you do, please like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.